Well, I kind of wish I went first now after that video. That was pretty inspiring. I've seen it before as well. It's amazing. That's a group of volunteer firefighters that have really done an outstanding job of taking care of the citizens of Leduc County and actually helping out quite often when we need it in the city of Leduc as well. Vice President Goutal, MP Calkins, MLA Rogers, Mayor Whaley, regional mayors and councillors, friends all. I have an immense passion for my community, which I've never tried to hide. I'm very proud of my time on council and the teams I've had the pleasure of working with. Several members of City Council are here today, and I know that they were introduced earlier, but I would like them to stand as I recognize them. Alderman Dana Smith, Alderman Glenn Finstead, and Alderman Dave McKenzie. The seven of us on council work really well together. We're moving the same direction. We may disagree sometimes on how to achieve our vision, but always support the majority view. This year's census put Leduc's population at 25,482. We have our challenges being divided by the busiest highway in the province, but that same highway has brought us prosperity as well. We are not a bedroom community of Edmonton. I'll say that again. We are not a bedroom community of Edmonton. Only 23% of our workforce commutes to Edmonton for work. As you can see, over 70, if you want to move on, over 70% actually work closely in this area, and in fact 45% work within the border of the city of Leduc. 1,722 businesses are registered with us. When I say that, I mean have business licenses with the city of Leduc. More than 800 of those I would call storefront. And in addition to that, 300 are home-based, and 600 non-resident companies paid for the opportunity to do business in the city of Leduc. This next slide shows growth between 2006 and 2011 in the 5 cities of the capital region. And you will note that the city of Leduc had a growth of 43.1% during that time period. If you add 2012's growth to that, it represents a growth of more than 50% in the last 6 years. Now, another way of putting that is if you looked at normal growth in a community, it would be more than 20 years of growth that we have accomplished in 6 years. An article on the front page of the Edmonton Journal's business section caught my eye, and it solidified what this council has been saying for the last couple of years. We better be paying attention and preparing for our future. Because of our recent growth, and knowing economic prosperity is expected to stay in this region in the near future, we are looking at a city 10 years from now of over 40,000 people. Now, this is based on a 5% growth rate per year. Since 2001, we've never had a year under 5%. For the near term, we believe that this is a fairly accurate figure. Obviously, as we move a little bit farther down, there are years that we will do more than 5%, years that we will do less than 5%. And in the long term, we'll see our numbers move back down closer to an average growth rate of 2.5%. But you get the picture. We are expanding very rapidly in this community. Our eyes need to be focused on the future as we continue to face remarkable growth in population and development. In 2012, we moved forward on many fronts, all to solidify Leduc's robust and sustainable future while balancing our great quality of life. The plans shown here are vital to our community's growth and intermunicipal cooperation with regional partners, which has been alluded to already. And I want to tell you that that cooperation has resulted in some partnerships that is a valuable tool for us to share like minds and get the involvement of municipal affairs. Thank you, George, for the dollars in that program. That projects can be undertaken in conjunction with other municipalities. And Leduc has 4 such partnerships on the go right now. Planning for our future is paramount, and all of these documents guide and support decision-making processes in council chambers, ensuring we're making the best decisions for our residents today and tomorrow. Not shown here, but important nonetheless, is the 65th Avenue interchange. I talk about it every year, and it seems like an impossible task to complete. But we made real progress this year and have partnered with the province and the international airport to fund the functional design of the interchange. It's underway now and is the last piece of the puzzle prior to getting Alberta Transportation 3-year construction plan to include 65th Avenue interchange. It's a huge step forward for us this year. Isn't here yet, but we've made significant progress. Together, we're on a prosperous journey, demonstrating strong fiscal responsibility, sound planning, and open-door communication. This year, we're continuing our commitment and investment on 5 strategic planning documents that will help guide our decisions. There are a lot of factors that are taken into consideration when these plans are being formulated. For example, future trends like environmental sustainability, current realities like rapid growth, and population demographics. We are attracting younger families and individuals to our city, and our community demographics show that our average age is 35. Children 4 years old and younger now make up 8% of our population. That's the same percentage of those as those 55 or older, which has remained the same since 2001. Despite the fact that nationally we are becoming an older society, Leduc is shifting into a younger community. We are growing at that rapid pace that you've seen, and there are compelling signs that this will continue for the foreseeable future. So what has Council done, and what are our plans to meet this challenge? We have made significant infrastructure investments for the last few years, and we have invested heavily in the future of our community. I have several examples here. The Recreation Center, a much needed facility, tremendous success. It's full all the time. We're bringing in new events, and for the whole region, this is the place where recreation happens. Our operations building, replacing a work area built in the 60s. Roads. Every year we need to ensure that we're spending enough to maintain this important infrastructure. Underground services might be out of sight and out of mind, but it is another crucial bit of infrastructure. Parks, playgrounds, multi-ways. These are the visible and well-used but soft assets. Important in our community, but sometimes overlooked. But not us. And another example, West End land acquisition. In 2012, we purchased 80 acres of land just west of West Haven. And so you'll see there Highway 39. So it's just south of Highway 39, west of our community right now. We did that to protect our future in the west. We obviously, in the short term, need space for a fire hall in the west. But also, sometime in the future, we are going to need some more recreation facilities, both indoor and outdoor. And also, we believe that there are great synergies to be found in putting a school next to a recreation facility. If you look at this next graph, it shows what we've invested in capital expenditures in the last 3 years. So they're in the light blue. and a look at what we expect to be spending in the next 5 years. 2013 is set already. $14 million will be spent on roads, facilities, underground infrastructure, parks, and one of our greatest assets, the multi-way trail system. 2014 and 15 are pretty well set. When we do our capital plan, obviously year 1 is set. Year 2 and 3 are pretty certain, and then years 4 and 5 are stable, but there can be changes. You'll notice the big change in 2014. You saw a slide earlier that we are looking at 3 major, or you're going to see, I guess, in a little while, 3 major projects that we're going to undertake over the next couple of years. One being library expansion, another being the West End Fire Hall, and also a spray park and revitalization of our outdoor pool. So that 2014 is when the construction hits, and that's why it's quite a bit higher. Now, in this area, we spend about 50% of the dollars that you would see there on roads, about 35% on infrastructure, and the rest on parks and outdoor amenities. We also, I don't show it here, but when we do our budget, we actually do a 10-year forecast of what we're going to need in capital expenditures. So I only showed the first 5 years because that's pretty certain that we're going to go ahead with those projects. Years 6 to 10, we also have projects, but we put them on there more as a placeholder. We don't have final numbers. We don't even know in some cases where the dollars are going to come from. But we know that it's something that is coming down the line that we better start thinking about because we will eventually have to construct them. All of this takes capital. It takes dollars. And there's 3 real ways that we get our dollars for that. Grants from other levels of government, and thanks to the federal gas tax dollars that come forward into our community. Other grants that come available, like the Building Canada Fund and other national ones that take care of recreation facilities, etc. Provincially, we get MSI, and I tell you, every other province in Canada wishes that they had the partner of the province, like the province of Alberta. We receive pretty close to $5 million a year just in that municipal sustainability initiative. There's other grants and programs that come forward to the city as well, like arterial road program and some support with the police service as well. So that's one of the areas that we get dollars from. We also get it from existing tax base. Part of that might come from other debentures that we had that fell off, but they're already in the base, and so those dollars get fed back into the capital programs for the future. And the third way that we can get dollars is through new taxes, which is the one thing that if we can avoid, we try to avoid. One of the ways that we can reduce the need for new taxes is to diversify the existing mix between residential and commercial industrial. The perfect community is said to have a mix of 60% residential and 40% commercial industrial. We presently sit around 70-30, so a priority for City Council has been to focus on attracting more commercial and industrial businesses to our community. As you can see, 2012 was another banner year for growth. Overall, 2012 is the 3rd highest value for total building permits, $200 million. Actually, I shouldn't say that. We built one less house than I really wanted because we were 320,000 short of the 200 million. If McLeod would have done what I anticipated they were going to do, we might have hit that 200 million mark. But in the past 6 years, we've seen $1.3 billion, yes, you heard me right, $1.3 billion in new construction in the city of Leduc. One of the important observations on this slide, though, is right there. And you'll see that we are at $60 million for non-res growth. And that bar is made up of actually three things: commercial, industrial, and institutional. Now you see some of those bars that were actually higher than this one, but a large portion of this one was the LRC, the Recreation Center, $50 million that added into that total. We had a little bit less in commercial this year than we normally do, but this was the highest year ever for industrial growth, $43 million for industrial growth. It shows that our strategy is working, and we're looking to an even stronger 23rd in the commercial industrial sector. As an example, more than 70 acres of industrial land was sold in 2012, which will result in aggressive growth and construction in that area in 2013. Business creates wealth in a community. It creates jobs and prosperity. A strong indicator for me is the number of ribbon cuttings I attend in the year. And I have to give a plug right now to Steffi and the rest of her team at the Chamber for making new businesses feel comfortable. I mean, 19 new businesses this month. Phenomenal. And it's a testament to what they do. And I see that in a different way as well, because usually ribbon cuttings are coordinated through the Chamber. Well, I now even get a slip of paper that says when we're going to take the photo, this is where I'm going to stand, this is where other people are going to stand. They always have the ribbon, they always have the big scissors, even if I can't make them work most of the time. But that's just another example of how they make new businesses feel comfortable in our community. And kudos to them. Many new businesses opened or expanded in 2012, as well as major operations like Baker Hughes. Through the budget process, we affirmed 3 projects that will proceed with design in 2013 and construction in 2014. And I mentioned those 3 already. And one little thing that I'm going to add to that. So we know that those are 3 major projects we're going to undertake. So we'll do the groundwork this year, the due diligence that we need to do, consulting where we want to consult with the public, doing the RFP and really the critical design features that need to be done for those 3 projects. As a council, we like to be involved as we can in major projects as they go forward. As an example, when we did the operations building, Alderman Michaud and Alderman Lazowski were actually on the team that worked through the whole process, including the construction phase. As a result, we saved a significant amount of money in overall costs for that project. So we have these 3 projects coming up. There will be 2 council members assigned to each one of those 3 projects. If I remember correctly, the library will have Alderman Young and Alderman Smith. The West End Fire Hall will be Alderman Finstead and Alderman McKenzie. And the Spray Park, Alderman Michaud and Alderman Lazowski. We want to ensure that we are involved in what is happening. So it shows the strong partnership that we have with administration that we allow us to be able to do that. Regarding this 4th bullet, it says Telford Lake Master Plan land acquisition. I've said to you before, when we do major plans for our community, they aren't meant to be put on a shelf and gather dust. And today, I'm excited to be able to announce that subject to final ratification by council on Monday night, and the 3 council members that are in the room today haven't even heard this yet, because we only found out last night, we have an agreement in principle to acquire the Sawridge lands on the north side of Telford Lake. I see Clarence Shields here, and he was involved years and years and years ago to try and get that to work. I would think it's been close to 15 years that we've been working on trying to acquire that land. So that's where, on the north side of the lake, just east of the residential area of North Telford. That large stand of trees that's out there, it used to be an old gravel pit. I tell you what, there is going to be amazing things going to be happening there over the next few years. It will become another jewel in our community. Quite excited about it. Part of being fiscally responsible is about making sound planning decisions. As an example, we know that we need debenture dollars for the new West End Fire Hall, and we need additional fire and RCMP personnel to keep our community safe. So we have budgeted a 2% tax increase per year over 4 years to meet the growing demands of protective services. The reason we did that is it stops us from having a 1% tax increase in 1 year and a 10% tax increase in the following year. So it just smooths it out. We know we need them, and that's just a more sound way of making that decision. Last year we initiated the annexation of new lands with our municipal partner, Leduc County, and John has spoken about that. It's a result of our growth plan work, and then our work on it's called an IDP, which is the Intermunicipal Development Plan, and now it has led to this annexation. The city is looking to annex 8 quarter sections of land to assist in meeting future growth demands. Annexation 2014 has been referenced by Leduc County as, and I quote, a model of sharing municipal services and land use planning. This success is marked by a collaborative spirit, positive communications, and a willingness by both parties to serve the residents to whom they are responsible. Leduc County is our most important partner, and there are many examples of our close relationship. The input that they had into the LRC, both in planning and in dollars, and as John mentioned, Sea Line Transit. We are the only urban-rural regional transit service in the province that shares costs and revenues. As John said, we are stronger through partnerships and cooperation. I've spoken at length about our infrastructure assets, but our real asset, the real reason that we have a strong sense of community or belonging, is all of you. Businesses that constantly step up and give back to the community. Volunteers that make all of our events possible and successful. And residents of Leduc and the region that participate in the life of the community. We believe in celebrating our community and our citizens, our successes, achievements, and showing our appreciation through various means, such as attracting new and exciting events like the Men's Provincial Curling Championships next month, hosting more than 20 city-sanctioned events each year, and I should mention that's counting Canada Day as one event, and there's actually 19 events that occur on Canada Day. Enhancing services like Everybody Gets to Play to ensure there are no barriers to participation, and honoring youth and their spectacular contributions as young leaders in our city. Leduc's quality of life is supported by its grand nature of volunteerism and community spirit. Without you, Leduc would not be the success it is today. We're constantly looking for new ways to communicate to you and get feedback and advice on programs and projects. You can see the various ways: print, the web, social media, and of course there's always the old-fashioned way, by phone or in person. It's an exciting time to be the mayor of this great community. We have accomplished much in the last few years, and as you can see today, we continue to build a strong foundation for success and sustainability in the future. There is much work to be done, and I want to be part of that future. Accordingly, I wish to announce that I've decided to run for re-election as your mayor in the municipal election this fall. Thank you.